Hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Mark to Live podcast version, and I was thinking of whether I should digress in this episode or not. But actually, anyway, it's fine to digress in this episode. And this time is so 2023 actually, and it's September. It's September, but it's really hot. It's really hot, and so in most cases, maybe in the case of my country, September. So maybe until when? Until maybe 5 years ago from this time. I mean, this time is, as I have told you, this time is September in 2023. So 5 years before is before the pandemic of the COVID-19, and which means so anyway, 2018, September in 2018, which is the time of 5 years ago, or the 5 years before 2023, and anyway that it was not so hot in September, and I don't know whether my memory or my remembrance is correct or not. Anyway, but actually, so at least when I was maybe 10 years or 20 years before, 10 years or 20 years before this time, so it had not been so as hot as this time, as it is in this time. I'm sorry for my clumsy manner of speaking English language, and 10 years before, 20 years before, it had not been as hot as it is in this time anyway. So it's so 10 years before, 20 years before, it had been hot, but actually not as hot as this time anyway. So the 20 what 10 years, the time of 10 years before, 20 years before, it's not as hot as this time anyway. So I don't know whether what I have just spoken about is grammatically correct or not. Anyway, but actually, so when it comes to the comparison of the temperatures, so this planet or the Earth is getting hotter and hotter, and this is a digression. And anyway, so I'm going to tell you the title and the conclusion of this episode. And the title is "BRICS is invincible, isn't it?" The conclusion is a global scale of overtime is possible. And I had seen a news which is about which is about the technology of India in the field of outer universe. And maybe recently India launched a India launched a satellite or some machine, and that machine launched onto moon, onto the north pole or the south pole of the moon, and which is according to that news. And as long as I can remember, that news said such a thing. And I'm sorry, I can't get full recollection about that event. But actually, so that's what I'd like you to know this time. What I'd like you to know in this phase of this episode is that so the scientific technology, or the level of the technology of India is rapidly developing, which is the situation of this world. And so, and another one is that BRICS. The constituent members of BRICS is Brazil and Russia and China. No, not yeah, China and India, China, and the other one left is Republic of South Africa, and among which, so maybe the largest countries are China and Russia maybe. And but actually, India is India is trying to catch up those two countries, Russia and China. And to start with, their populations are really huge. And wait a moment, please. I launched this time. I opened a website, and which is about the population of each country. And for example, the population of India this time is 1.4 billion, and the population of China is 1.4 billion. And this is the size of population of these two countries. So summing or adding these two populations, that becomes so 2.88 billion or 2.9 billion, and they are the order, or they had become the of class of billions in population. And there's a there's a country named the United States of America, which is conflicting against the mainland China. And the population of the United States of America is 339 million. This is million, actually, but 339 million. And wait a moment, please. I can get information of the population of Europe population. I think I can get information of the population of Europe. And I don't know whether this includes the population of Russia or not. But actually, so the population of Europe is 742 million. And if Russia is included, the Eastern Europe must have counted the population of Russia. Yes, the population of Russia is included. And the population of Russia is 144 million, which means so subtracting the population of Russia from the population of Europe, that becomes almost 600 million, or less than, slightly lower than 600 million. And if you do calculation of addition, or if you do addition, so what I'm saying is that, so please remember the population of the United States of America, that was 339 million, and plus, and please add 6 million to the population of the United States of America. That becomes so 9 million, not 9 million, but 939 million, which is the population of the West, or of the Western group in terms of the military relationships between capitalism country, or between the countries of capitalism, and between and those of communism. So which is a battle between the West and BRICS. And to start with, so in terms of the size of population, so the population of BRICS far exceeds that of the West, or that of the population of that of the population, and not that of the population, or that incorporating, or the population incorporating United States of America and Europe, except for the population of Russia. And I haven't calculated the population of Russia, but actually, so as I have told you, so I have told you the population of in India and in India and China, and what I have told you is the total amount of the populations of China and India, and which had become 2.8 billion, or 2.9 billion, almost 3 billion. And the West couldn't reach the population of the West, was the population of the total population, or the total population of the United States of America and Europe couldn't reach the population of 1 billion. But actually, so the population of BRICS exceeds 1 billion easily. The population of BRICS easily exceeds 1 billion, which is a difference between the West and the East. Anyway, in terms of the population, of course, there is a crucial fact, which is the levels of scientific technologies, or the levels of developments in each society, and the West has many developed countries, but actually, in the case of economies, or in the case of the sizes of economy, including scientific levels, for example, India is trying to catch up the scientific levels of China and Russia, including the United States of America, and China has the most advanced technology of electric vehicles, and to start with, Russia is, in terms of the Russo-Ukrainian war. So before the death of Mr. Prigozhin, so Russia had been strong, although Russia had been sanctioned by many countries, and which is a situation, which is a situation of BRICS. So which is why, the global overturn is possible, and which means, in this world, not in this world, but in this time, the strongest country was the United States of America. But actually, this can be changed. For example, the next country which becomes the strongest country can be, for example, China, or and another candidate is India, and both of them are in the group named BRICS. So which is why, which is the global overturn I have called. And wait a moment, please. I'm going to finish this episode. I'm not thinking of creating a long time of episode. I'm not thinking of creating a long time episode. And to start with, so this is a case of my country. By the way, I live in Japan, and this is in the case of my country. Some people say that BRICS, or particularly saying China is the strongest. And to start with, no country can beat, or no country can beat or win the competition between the East and the West, or between China and the United States of America, and which is why, only considering the difference of the sizes of populations, so BRICS can be it's possible to say that BRICS is invincible. So which is why, I created this episode, and I wrote this title. And the title is BRICS is invincible, isn't it? The conclusion is a global scale of overtime is possible. So which is what I'd like you to know this time. So that's it. Thank you very much for everything. See you.